I'll do a quick intro. We'll do like we did before. I'll pass it over to you for introductions then, and we'll bring Debbie in.
Okay.
Here we go. Welcome to the TDC Today Show USA. My name is Sue Roskoff, and we're so glad to have you all joining with the Disability Channel. I'm just going to highlight quickly what they all are able to do. So Disability Channel, free training for persons with disabilities and introduction to accessible content production. They work with social media, captioning using YouTube, assistive technologies, and accessible documents, podcasting, marketing, inclusive and accessible design. There's this introduction to accessible content is a free 14-week instructor-led program presented by Owlware Limited and in partnership with Mohawk College and the provincial and federal governments of Canada. It is an amazing program, and we're thrilled that that's available currently in Canada, and I hope at some point in the near future we can get the same type of program happening here in the United States, because it is amazing. So here with the TDC show, I am going to go ahead and bring in Emily Golmer to go ahead and introduce our first guest today. Emily, over to you.
Our first guest, we met through the Happy Neighborhood Project, and he was in Arizona, and is all about health and wellness and the for pets and about pet treats and so on. So everyone come in here and say what you're doing for pets.
Awesome. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'd like to start with a story. I was pet sitting about a week ago for a cat, and I would sometimes fall asleep in the recliner, or I would be in bed at night and I would open my eyes and like, here's this cat like right there staring me right in the eyes.
I'm keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, literally. I mean, even when I would open my eyes, he would just continue to just stare right at me. It was the funniest thing. But my point is that I believe that we want our pets to be safe and feel secure and see the unconditional love from us that they give to us. And excuse me, we also want them to live a long life, but along with that, we want it to be a quality life. And I feel like I found something that can do that for those pets. So my website is deb.247.com for more information. But just to share a few stories. And first of all, let me say that it started out with just pet products. And this actually, my mentors in this program had a husky that was 14, and they took the husky to the vet. She had a lot of problems. She had autoimmune disease. She had some big lumps that they felt like were cancerous, arthritis, etc. And the vet was going, it's okay. She's had a great life. You've given her a great life. You don't need to feel bad about putting her down. Well, of course, they weren't prepared that day, so they took her home, luckily. Put a little post on Facebook, we're going to be sorry to season to go. And their friends came over and said to them, would you be open to trying mushrooms? And they said, the wife said, we're not that kind of people. And the other gal said, well, they're not that kind of mushrooms. They're not psychedelic. Hopefully you weren't looking at, but they are just medicinal mushrooms, highest quality harvesting, and amazing things. So they started giving her the mushrooms. 4 days later, she jumped on the couch. She hadn't jumped on the couch in like a couple years.
Oh,
So
wow.
his wife and going, come out here. And she's like, what are you doing? Putting Zenta on the couch. You know it hurts her to get down. And he's going, I didn't put her up here. She got here herself. And that was 4 days on the mushrooms. And fast forward, within a couple of months, she was off of all of the medication that the vet had been prescribing for her. She got rid of her autoimmune disease, and just led, like I said, what we want, a great quality of life. I mean, we don't want to prolong the lives of our pets if they're not going to have a good quality of life. But they take walks, like 5-mile walks. Traditionally, she was going with them on the 5-mile walks, playing with their other dogs that are puppies, and just a phenomenal story. So the wife looked at the husband and said, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Zenta got rid of autoimmune disease. What about my 5 autoimmune diseases? So they talked to the company put it in pill form for humans, and now she has no autoimmune diseases either.
Hello, Emily.
True.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, like
So-
she doesn't have any. Like I know who she's talking about. They're
Right.
H&P members, or he is. And she doesn't have any of her 5 things that she had before she started on this.
Correct. And one of them was thyroid problems, which she was diagnosed at age 20. And they have kids like in their late. So she was on that medication for a long time. And now she's not testing positive for that. So there's just all these wonderful stories about good things for the pets, but there's also good things for the people. And of course, we can't say that it cures anything, because the FDA does not allow anything that's natural to be certified by them. So it's not FDA approved. There is no FDA approval for pets, so we can say a little bit more about them. But I'm going to tell a couple other people's stories.
That'd be great.
Trying to think of which ones. There was this one woman that had rheumatoid arthritis so badly that she was actually taking shots for it. And she did get rid of her rheumatoid arthritis by taking the mushroom supplement. I don't want people to get the idea, though, they're only looking for people and pets who have issues with their health, because this modulates the immune system. So it's going to help people who are already well, or it's going to help people who are already sick or become sick, somewhere in between. So, okay, a couple more pet stories, and one CBD story that I love. It makes my heart sad when I talk to somebody and I'm like, I have something that I think will help your pet. And they go, okay, well, I went out and bought some CBD. So they feel like they're taken care of. And then a post comes probably within a month, this was, my dog died. And I think, I don't know quality she got for her pet. If I would have pushed harder, would she have tried my product? And would the pet have had a different outcome? You know, it's just, we don't know, and we'll never know. But this one dog, the name is Panda, and she was having lots of seizures. That was the issue with the friend that I just mentioned. Her dog was having seizures. And so they found out about these products, and they started her on the CBD biscuits. I don't know if they had to hide them in food or whatever, but just make sure that you're in charge. If your dog doesn't want to take them, but help the dog in some way physically, then you need to figure out a way to sneak them in to the dog system. Anyway, Panda took the CBD biscuits and went from multiple seizures a day to just a few seizures a day, and now hasn't had a seizure in 2 years. So obviously those people are quite thrilled with the products. And we do get stories on a regular basis like this. Bonnie has what I call a rescue ranch in Colorado. She takes in rescue dogs with disabilities, a lot of them. And Roxanne was hit by a car and had to have her back 2 legs amputated. So when she came to the rescue ranch, she had a wheelchair. You know, I guess they put the rump on a little platform in the back, and then the wheels. You know, the dog can be mobile with his front legs, and the 2 wheels in the back serve as the back legs. So she had her wheelchair. She still couldn't really get down their long driveway and back without wearing out, but she did start on the products. Took her in for her yearly checkup. I'm sorry, I think I forgot this part. She also was in kidney failure. And when they took her in for her checkup, no more kidney failure. And now she's got enough energy that she trots down to the mailbox with Bonnie on a daily basis. And Bonnie uses only these products for her rescues at her rescue ranch in Colorado. Gosh, I can always think of so many when
I love the stories. It speaks volumes of what the possibilities are, and that there are options out there. And as much as we love our vet, I love our vet. I think she's wonderful, but even they've got their limitations. They have the training they have, and sometimes you need to look beyond that solution to see what else is the right answer for my particular pet. And that there are other options out there really is comforting to know. And I'm glad to know this. You know, it makes a world of difference. I know we talked previously about the dangers really of like 4th of July fireworks and that noise stimulation, all that, and how that affects our pets. And there are solutions available to help us to help our pets, because they don't understand necessarily what's going on. I come back to the personal experience of, I don't know what to do to help her. She's scared to death with all that noise going on. And, you know, and even in our own neighborhood here, sometimes someone nearby is setting something off and I don't even necessarily hear it. But if I see her with her tail tucked in and she's running for her hiding spot, like, oh no, somebody's setting something off again. And I won't see her for a while. She'll go hide behind that one chair, and that's her spot. I feel terrible. There's nothing I can do to comfort her. There's nothing. But actually now I'm learning that there is something. So, you know, it's amazing.
And we do want everybody to know about it, about this option, because of the 4th of July coming up.
Yeah.
It is the most dangerous day of the year for pets. And Marianne, that was on a previous segment, was saying that one of her dogs actually did jump the fence on 4th of July and unfortunately did not live after. So that's not what we want for our pets. We don't want that to happen, and we don't want them to be picked up and end up in the shelters, which are full to the brim on July 5th because of these situations happening. So it is great to have something to offer.
And actually Marianne is, I believe she is on here yet. I just want to check in real quick to see if she's available and wants to join us in the conversation, or if she would rather stay in the background for now. It's completely up to you, Marianne. Would you like to join us at this point?
Aloha, can you hear me?
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, I just had a surprise with the Bay of the Azul Husky coming, stopping, and playing. So, yeah, I had the opportunity to interpret sign language for a deaf man who became a veterinary assistant. So this is the Disability Channel showing that people with pets, this is a great show, great conversation to have to make sure that our pets are safe. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Marianne.
Well, and we do have time for a couple more stories here. If you have some other examples you have at the top of your mind by chance, or if you want to tell us, do you have pets yourself? Or do you have any fur babies in your house?
I have a dog, which is why I always make the Freudian slip and say for dogs instead of for pets. Yeah, and I mean, he's the one that's, well, I live in Arizona, and so we have a big monsoon season with thunder, depending on the year, sometimes with lots of thunderstorms. And that's an issue for us as well. And the CBD helps him as well to calm down through that. He has a thunder vest, but it really doesn't do very much. What really takes it down to where he's calm is the CBD. I seriously would think that he was going to have a heart attack because he would be breathing so hard, and and then he comes up near me. He won't get in the bed, but he wants to be by me on the floor by the bed. But then he's, doing just, being scared.
Yeah.
Horrible that I'm doing anything right then. So so now we see it coming, the fireworks or the thunder, and we give him the CBD and he will calm down. But what you were saying, Sue, about noticing the pet's characteristics, I mean, I can tell that he's getting nervous when I know that there's thunder, or I know that he can hear fireworks that I can't hear.
Because their hearing is so much better than ours, so they know it's coming before we do for a lot of that. I mean, even if it's thunder coming, it's like, I know on my phone, okay, we might get rain later, but to know that there's going to be something that's going to scare my dog, because that happens too. That's right in that same realm. When the thunder comes, she hides then too, because they're very similar to fireworks, and it's just a big, loud, scary thing out there. That why is the world so loud right now?
Right, exactly. But just as a happier note about him, Bob is his name. Well, like this morning, for example, he goes out after he eats early in the morning, and then he comes in, and I don't give him a TREAT. And so then he was a little bit later, he wanted to go out. So I gave him one when he came in. And then he wants to go out like right away, like immediately. I haven't even gone to sit down or anything. And I'm like looking at him, and I go, no, you're not going to get another treat. Mm-hmm. So he turned around and went inside, didn't even try to go out. He knows. Even before.
I can relate to that more than you, actually.
It wasn't that bad. It's that hot, but it was still hot. And he would stay outside until I said, oh, come on in and you'll get TREAT. Mm-hmm. But I said, animals are so wonderful.
They add so much to our world. I don't even know if they understand how wonderful they are. They're a lot of work. Taking care of a pet is not a small task. That is, it's a long-term dedicated piece of life here, but it's so worth it.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
So another story, and I like this one because it talks about the diversity. We're taught by Big Pharma, all you have to do is watch the commercials on TV, that everything that's wrong with you have to have a different pill. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter, high blood pressure, cholesterol, bad skin, there's something different for everything. So I don't have one handy right now, but I'll show you, pretend that I have a bottle in my hand of the mushrooms. And I call it Jack of all trades in a bottle, because it can help a variety of different ailments. So somebody called their person that did, or somebody that they knew, found out that they were representing this company, and they said, my dog is having issues. So they got the mushroom treats for the dog, and the dog straightened out. I'm not sure what. I know he always says smelling at both ends, so that's pretty graphic. But I think there was another issue in there as well. And so the dog got straightened out. A month later, follow-up call, how the dog's doing great. Can you help my husband? And he goes, you want to feed your dog treats? No, that's not it. But my husband has long-term COVID. He's on 6 liters of oxygen a day, has no quality of life, obviously can't get up and walk around. He's in his wheelchair. And they go, okay, we have the mushroom pills for humans. Let's try him on those. And another fall within I think this was a couple months later that this happened. He was only on 1 bottle, partial bottle, I think, of oxygen a day. And he could actually get up and push his wheelchair and walk to the park, which prior obviously was riding in the wheelchair. So then the dog's mother goes, well, can you help me? And, well, what is your issue? And she says, I can't get my numbers for my diabetes in the correct range. So she started taking mushrooms, and within a month or two, her numbers were okay. So it just shows the diversity of the product, that it is, jack of all trades in a bottle, and that what not traditional medicine. We're thinking of traditional medicine as natural medicine, because that's the one that's been around for a long time. But the big pharma medicine of having to have something for every little thing is not necessarily the only way to go.
That's huge. It's wonderful information. It is so important for people to understand, again, that there are options, and there's always hope. There's always a way. Just a matter of meeting a person that can lead the way there. Yeah, we don't know what we don't know, right? So,
right. Oh, we can't promise. We don't know that, but
same thing's going for the pharmaceutical kind of things too. It should work, but it won't necessarily work for everyone. It all depends on what it is. So, having options and alternatives, and this goes back so many years and years and years. It's a proven long history. So with your offering, I'm excited to hear that this exists, and that there are possibilities for people that hopefully now they have that option to say, oh, well, this isn't working. Maybe this will be the thing that'll be the right thing for me. You just never know. And I sure hope this will find somebody along the way that is looking exactly for it, and that this will make the world a difference for them too. Because the stories you've shared are phenomenal, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have this conversation. So Debbie, thank you so much for joining us here again today. So,
thank you.
Absolutely. And actually, do you have just a 30-second wrap up that you'd like to any last message that you'd like to share with everybody?
Just and this goes back to the vets. If you look at the veterinary books from like the 1970s, the longevity of the pets, is a lot longer than it is now. My daughter told me, the vet said my dog is geriatric. The dog's 12 years old. I said, no, the dog is not geriatric. The dog just needs some good, healthy stuff, and will very possibly live longer than you anticipate, and that the vet anticipates, because the vet is going by the statistics that came out now because of presumably the dog food that was not healthy for the dogs.
Perfect. Well, again, Deb, thank you so much. Our website again is deb.petclub247.com. Let me say that one more time, deb.petclub247.com. So you can find out more information there. Deb, thank you so much for joining us here today at the TDC Today Show USA. My name again is Sue Roskoff, and with Emily Gomer and Kurt Roskoff here, our TDC ambassador. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Recording stopped.
Perfect. All right, recording is all set.